So according to them, the message we should send to the whole world is that if you cross the border illegally, which is a crime, don't worry about it. If you get ordered removed by a federal judge after due process, don't worry about it, because there shouldn't be mass deportations. If that's the message we send to the whole world, people are still going to put themselves in harm's way to come to the greatest nation on earth. They're going to spend their life savings to give it to a criminal cartel. And we saw during the Biden administration, when there was no immigration enforcement, over 4,000 aliens died making that journey, historic record. 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl, historic record. Secure borders saves lives, and I wish the Catholic Church would understand that. Secure border saves lives. And you know, one of the reasons no one talks about why we have the most secure border in the history of this nation is because exactly what ICE is doing. ICE is sending a message to the whole world: don't give your life savings to come to the country, because you're not going to be released. You're not going to cross the border illegally, you're going to be prosecuted.
Issues that the Democrats seem to really be fighting on is keeping illegals in the country. They're, of course, against ICE agents doing their job. They're against Donald Trump carrying out his promise of deporting illegals. And this voter went on Fox News with a bit of a truth bomb for the left.
The difference between being kind, and to me, my faith is, one thing is being nice to people from different lands, but they also have to be respectful of our laws. And everybody wants to come to the United States because we have a great economy, have a lot of opportunity, but there's a process to do that. My family has been here since at least the 1700s. There's no one that gave us a free $1,400 debit card. No one gave us a free apartment. No one gave us anything free. We had to work for it. So there is a process. And if we respect all people, that means that the people that come here need to respect our laws. And that's all that we're saying. We allowed 20 million immigrants in here legally since 2000. How much is too much, and how much are we going to put the burden on the taxpayers, because the money has to come from somewhere? Yeah. It's just common sense.
CJ, some common sense there, so I'm sure the left will find a way to call this guy radical.
You know, it's incredibly, an incredible example of common sense, but unfortunately, common sense is far too uncommon in the modern day Democrat Party. But he's exactly spot on. You know, one of the cornerstones of being an American is not believing in two tiers of justice. And I think that applies to the illegal immigration problem in this country. If you are an American citizen, whether you're white or you're black, and you broke the laws of our land, you would be thrown in jail. So why should we allow these people to show a complete disrespect for our laws, infiltrate our country, and not say, no, you got to go back to where you came? It's not rocket science. It's not a hard thing to understand. But also, too, I know that's not a hard thing to understand because the majority of Americans understand it. It's exactly why they voted for President Trump. They gave him the mandate he did. These things are not like random things that he just came up with after he got elected. He said, I'm just going to do mass deportations and send all these people back from where they came. No, he ran on that every single day, every single night. He said that he was going to do exactly this. And I think the thing that probably bewilders Washington the most is he's a politician that's actually keeping his promise. That's exactly why the American people respect him so much and put him right exactly where he is, at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
I know, isn't it wild, keeping a promise? Now, woke Hollywood celebrities, of course, love to make it known how much they hate Donald Trump, but the penny seems to have dropped for actress Jennifer Lawrence when it comes to how people vote and how many people seem to just ignore what Hollywood actors actually have to say.
You have been politically outspoken in the past. Mm-hmm. In the first Trump administration, you know, you had a lot to say. I'm curious how you feel about talking out now.
I don't really know if I should. I think, like, the first Trump administration was so wild, and just how can we let this stand? Like, I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But as we've learned, election after election, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. And so then what am I doing? I'm just sharing my opinion on something that's going to just add fuel to a fire that's ripping the country apart.
Yeah, I think someone needs to tell George Clooney that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad that Jennifer Lawrence has come to this epiphany that was pretty apparent to the rest of us with functioning brains a long time ago. But I'm glad, some of us are a little slower than others. So welcome to the reality, Trevor. But, here's the thing. I think she is actually spot on in the sense that the American people a long time ago realized that we were not going to allow Hollywood elites to dictate the direction of this country. And thank God for that. But what I hope she understands now is that, she should actually go outside of her, cosmopolitan, posh lifestyle and go talk to real Americans about what's going on and go into the inner cities of, across America. And you'll actually hear from, Black families and Black mothers, single Black mothers who are saying, thank God for President Trump for taking action, sending the National Guard. So now that my child can go play on the sidewalk, thank him, for creating jobs here at home by his, implementing the tariffs that he has. And so I got to say, again, I hope that this is a first step to recovery for her. And I hope that there are many more steps to come because I think she's so close, but we're not quite past the finish line yet.
We're not there yet. No, that's absolutely right.
Now, I want to take you back to American politics. We keep checking in on Kamala Harris. I think she's doing a book tour or whatever, which is why she's talking so much. She talks a lot. She says very little. But she's promising the world that she may not be done with a run at the White House. Let's have a listen to this latest exchange.
When are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you?
Possibly.
Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
But you say in your book, I'm not done.
That is correct. I am not done.
She's not done, Tim.
A phrase so many bartenders have heard over the years from Kamala Harris. You'd like 5 cents for every time that they've heard that throughout the bars and clubs in DC, wouldn't you? I'm not done. I am not done. 2 more shots, please.
Well, I think they also, when they asked her whether she's made a decision, she says, no, I have not. Well, I think that's probably, I think she's talking about her whole political career. I don't think she made a decision at any stage.
Oh, absolutely. She was in charge. People forget this. She was the border czar. She was in charge of the borders, evidently didn't make any damn decisions at all, and then complained hugely when it was pointed out to her that the border was a disaster. And she said, oh, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't my fault. It was her job. She had been appointed in that role by Joe Biden, and she wasn't done. She did nothing. That's how wasn't done she was.
It was the one serious job she was given. As you say, she did nothing. It was even an effort to get her down there to have a look at it.